Hi everyone, and welcome to the Introduction to Kinesiology Part 1. My name is Lori and I will be guiding you through this course. We are going to be learning how to use kinesiology to test your vibrational alignment with the things that you're coming into contact with in your daily life. And this includes foods, supplements, people, and life decisions. I hope you enjoy the course. Let's get going. The purpose of this course is to introduce you to the basic principles and applications of accurate muscle testing, which is also known as kinesiology, so that you can have another tool in your personal self-healing, self-help toolbox. I personally love muscle testing because if you take the time to learn it and get to the point that you can actually trust your body and the results that you're getting, it is a very powerful tool for you to be able to tell if what you are exposing yourself to, whether it be a food, a supplement, a person, a situation, an emotion, a life path choice, or a thought, whether that is going to stress your vibrational field or strengthen it. The more people that learn how to self-muscle test, the better it will be for the entire world, because there will be more and more people living and doing things that are fully and 100% in alignment with who they are created to be, which in turn massively brings down the amount of emotional, mental, and physical and spiritual suffering that we see in the world today. Imagine a world where we aren't sucked in by every single commercial, documentary, or magazine article that we read, because there is a method of knowing 100% if that product or what's being taught will actually work for you or not. I mean, how much money would that save some of us? Imagine a life where we are able to tell instantly if a supplement we're about to take will really help us, or if a food we're about to eat is really good for us. Have you ever wondered if an appointment or an event that you've been invited to and are considering going on serves your highest good and will further you on your life path, or if maybe you should just skip it today? Want to know how to test for the most relevant meridians and specific acupoints that can be used to treat psychological and even many physical disorders, or determine which chakras, nutritional supplements, flower essences, and homeopathic remedies can be used effectively in treatment, just like you have seen the naturopaths do? These things, plus many, many more, are a reality for people that learn how to use the art of muscle testing, which is what you are going to learn during this course. In this basic kinesiology course, together we will be covering: what is kinesiology and muscle testing? What can kinesiology be used for? How to ensure you're getting accurate testing results? How to use ERT, which is the energy reset technique, to reset your energy field before testing, removing your own influence from your testing, and common methods for self-muscle testing. We will also be covering how to ask good questions to make sure that you're getting direct and clear answers while you're testing. We'll go over a summary, again reviewing the simplicity of this powerful modality, and then there'll be several demonstrations along the way. Kinesiology, which is also known as muscle testing, is many times thought to be a method of just testing the muscles of the body and then performing corrections that affect our physical state. But muscle testing, especially for that of a good tester, is so much more than just a tool to be used to test the strength or stress on the physical muscles of the body. It can also be hugely successful in testing for more subtle energetic levels and energy centers in the body, and is very helpful in uncovering deeper levels of information and truth that exist within different frequencies. The first thing that you need to know and understand is that everything is energy, and everything has a vibration or frequency. And this includes your thoughts, your emotions, the people that are around you, and your environment. And your body, your energetic field reacts and interacts with all of these frequencies. And this is what you're testing, your reaction with your energy field to these different stimuli or to these different things that you are coming into contact with in your environment. Kinesiology operates on the premise that every single thing that comes into your body field has an effect on your body frequency. This effect can be one that is positive and strengthens the field, or one that creates stress and therefore weakens the field. Through methods that I will be sharing in this course, you will be able to find out just which frequencies or vibrations are labeled as good or positive for you and which are poor or negative for you. Kinesiology is actually a very, very simple modality. And so I want to go over here just the very, very basic procedure and break it down for you. The first thing is you will need to pick an item, an object, a thought, an emotion, a situation, or a life choice for you to test. Then you want to connect with that, and you will physically hold the item or mentally connect with what you are wanting to test in your mind. And then you're going to ask a question. Basically, a commonly phrased question would sound something like, is this item for my highest good? Or is this situation for my highest good? You will then use your chosen method of testing, which we'll go over many different options that you can use, and you will get a yes or no response, as your tester muscle will be weakened if the item is not in vibrational alignment with you, or it will remain very strong if the item tested is of a vibration that strengthens you and is therefore a positive influence on your field. There are so many things that muscle testing can be used for, and far more than I can even begin to cover in this basic course, but I do want to touch on what some of the basic uses for muscle testing are. Remember, you are always testing for the frequency or vibrational alignment for what the item situation is that you are testing for. One use for this could be that you have several paths, choices, or options to consider. Which one is the most in alignment or harmony with you and your core goals and values? You may have many people in the circles you travel through. Which people are in vibrational harmony with you and which people drain you of your energy and are therefore not a good match for you? What food is good for you and which makes your body weak and should be avoided? Which supplements and dosages are a good match for you and which ones are not assimilated well? You can also use it to narrow down and quickly determine ailments and the cause of them. There are many things that can throw the body off and make it difficult for you to obtain an accurate muscle response. We want to ensure that you're getting accurate testing results, so we're going to go over a few of the most common reasons that people can end up with inaccurate or unclear results. The first one would be a negative mindset. A negative state of mind that's for someone that is doing the testing during the testing phase is really likely to make the energy field of that person really unstable, very fragmented, and unbalanced, and this will cause an unclear result. Manipulation, an unconscious feeling that you are manipulating yourself or someone else, stealing or lying or being dishonest in any way will always throw off your responses. And any type of intoxicant still flowing through the body can also make your testing results unreliable, as well as if you're really jacked up on things like caffeine or anything that really causes an unnatural state of the body can make it so that you get unclear results. Before we perform any type of kinesiology testing or correction, we need to make sure that our body is reset and not throwing off unclear, distorted vibrations that would prevent us from getting clear results. And there are some definite signs that you need to reset your body, and a few of these are just feeling unenergized completely, just very lethargic, very low vibrational, or conversely, feeling way over-energized and just totally jacked up and just overly excited. That can also throw this off. A foggy brain where you're just not clear, poor concentration, if you've been sitting in front of the computer or just sitting down in a very stagnant state for a long period of time, or if you're experiencing poor digestion, if you've eaten and something's not settled right, any of these things can cause stress in the body field. And so therefore you would know immediately that before you perform a test that you would need to reset your body and your body field to help you get accurate results. Now, some people who are active and have good posture, have a clean diet, and high vibrational thoughts, for the most part will find that they remain in a good harmonious flow and are able to muscle test pretty easily at any time. But others who have a habitual energy pattern of consuming stimulants, low vibrational thinking, and are more lethargic will find that they are only able to hold a reset for somewhere between 2 to 10 minutes before they will fall back to the old energy pattern that they run. The good news, though, is that there are many ways to correct this negative energy flow in the body if this is a state that you find yourself occupying on a consistent basis. But that is something that I teach in some of my other courses and not for me to cover in this space. There are, however, several ways to clean up the body's energetic system so that it is ready for testing. As you use kinesiology more and more, these will become automatic and you won't even have to think about it. And actually, the more that you use this and create your own art form out of kinesiology, you'll be able to reset your body with just the thought and awareness of the state of your body, as well as be able to tell the results of the muscle test even before you perform it. Okay, so let's go over a method of resetting the body's energetic system. We use this a lot of times right before we test just to be sure that we're getting accurate results. It's called the ERT, or Energy Reset Technique. And most people who like this method, as well as trained kinesiologists, definitely find ways to shortcut this process to something that works a bit better, a bit easier, and a bit faster for them. But for the purposes of our introductory course, I'm going to leave the entire procedure intact. You can do this in just seconds before testing in order to reset your energy field. And truthfully, you can really use this at any time you feel some of the symptoms that we mentioned in the slide before to reset the body field. Step one is you want to start with rubbing below the collarbone for 3 to 5 seconds. So you just take both hands and just gently rub up and down or in a circular motion right below your collarbone. Then you take your hands and you gently rub the base of the skull for the same amount of time, just up and down or around in circles for several seconds. Step 3, take your hands and rub either side of your spine on your lower back, and then bring your hands up and rub each side of your spine on your upper back. Step 5 is to perform an energy field hand sweep up the front of the body. And that entails just bending over, cupping your hands, and just running your hands several inches up off the physical body, which is in the body field. You just sweep your hands up the front of the body. And I usually do this once or twice and encourage people, especially if they're starting out, to do this a couple of times. Then you take a deep breath. exhale, and then check yourself. And you can repeat this procedure if necessary, but usually just going through steps 1 through 6 one time will be enough. Being able to trust the answers that you're getting, the yes or no answers when you're asking your questions, when you're muscle testing, is a foundational piece that you will have to be able to put into place for you to be successful at this great modality. It is important that you take yourself and your influence out of the picture when you're testing. You need to bring yourself into a very neutral place mentally and emotionally before asking the questions or before performing any testing. This is one of the biggest causes of getting unclear and uncertain responses, as well as a large reason why some people get discouraged when experimenting and trying to learn how to do self-muscle testing. When you know that you have an attachment to a particular outcome or a self-interest involved, you will either skew the results yourself or doubt the results that you got when you performed the test. When you know that you're attached to an outcome, you will definitely need to be sure that before you test, you literally step back from the situation, get to a neutral mentality, and then test. When testing, you need to look at the bigger picture of what is involved. And from a world overview or a total lifeline overview that is not attached to this particular decision or point in time, and that will help you test from a broader, more balanced perspective. I find that many times connecting with God or my higher self, who can look at a situation and know that this is just a grain of sand in my existence before I test, helps me really to step back and ensure that I get an accurate result. Another method that really works for me is that I hold in my mind the fact that I am measuring for vibration, not necessarily for outcome. If I make sure that I'm completely separating myself from the outcome or my preference toward a yes or no answer, and just only looking at vibration, frequency, or the feel of an item or a situation, it helps me to remain completely neutral and removed from the answer. Energy is just energy, and therefore testing the energy only can help the mind and the emotions to step back and allow a clear answer to come through. After having practiced kinesiology for some time, you'll be able to know what it feels like for you to not be attached to the testing outcome, and therefore know when you're in total alignment with what you're testing for. This concludes part 1 of our Introduction to Kinesiology course. Let's jump on over and join me in part 2, where we actually get into some of the methodologies and what it actually looks like to use this amazing, amazing modality.